You got to see a clip from my school days experience last week. I want to share exactly what happened. I was around 14. My school was introducing NCC, and that was the first year for the high schoolers. NCC officers visited my school for selections. I wasn't aware what NCC was all about, and I didn't want to join at all. But my whole class was listed to take a series of tests. One of them was 1 minute impromptu speech, and the topic given was school. To get out of it, I tried to make a quick, unenthusiastic speech. I randomly blurted out a number as my academic score, completely forgetting it belonged to a classmate. She overheard, got upset, and confronted me afterwards. Desperate to get out of this situation, I tried to deflect by telling her she could use my real score instead. Since my number was higher, I was trying to randomly use another number so I would not get selected. That was the whole purpose. But the trick didn't work. I was selected. Now, the skills which we were tested were physical activity, where we had to run, first aid, extracurricular activities like singing, dancing. So, all those. And apart from this, we had to be good in march past. We were in the marching band, and of course, firing. Well, the skills were interesting, but I wasn't interested to get out of home. Me and my senior got chosen. It was a huge milestone getting selected, but I wasn't interested. Now, the next hurdle was convincing my mom, who was terrified to let me go since I had never been away from home before. Now, my school principal had to intervene and call my parents for a meeting. My dad was thrilled about the opportunity. My mom did not come to the meeting, so it was a challenge for my dad to convince my mom. Both me and my mom were extremely hesitant. However, eventually, my dad managed to reassure my mom, and I was off to camp. It was tough adjustment because the location for my first camp was extremely hot in temperature. The spicy food triggered constant canker sores, and I was struggling. Somehow, I pushed through to complete the first camp. Then I go back. I missed so many days of school. I had to come catch up with what I missed. And then again, I was sent to another camp. I learned quite a lot in the camp, but then again, coming back and catching up with my schoolwork it was kind of getting difficult on me. It was the third camp. As I said, this was our first year in our school when we had NCC. So this was my first year in NCC as well. Now, by the time we came to the third camp, we were always selected and moved to the next level, me and my senior. The third camp, they found out that it was my first year, and they asked us to come. The officers asked us to come, me and my senior, to join next year selections again. Ultimately, they took a chance. My NCC officers took a chance since we were very skilled. But since we were asked to come the next year, now we were done with that year's selections. Now I had to come back home, catch up with all my schoolwork. My grades were dropping. The hardest part was balancing this with my academics. My grades were dropping so much that it was very disheartening. I kept pushing though to move forward, which I did do. I kept moving forward to the next grade. But then the coin has two sides of the story, right? Whatever my principal wanted to do, whatever the NCC officers were interested towards, seeing my skills, all said and done was perfectly right. It was an encouragement for achieving some myself, where it would have helped me get to college. But then the other side of the story was I wasn't so interested because I was so much into schoolwork and the daily activities. So, whatever I missed in those days, I gained some part and I missed some part. Although I did love going to NCC eventually. I loved the firing. I used to practice in the school grounds, and all my juniors were really impressed seeing me do the firing. But that disappointment I had when my scores went down was always there. So, this was the story which I had been through when I went for my NCC selections. I have no regrets doing it. However, I do miss that part of my schooling. Do leave your comment if you have had this kind of situation, and how would you have felt if you were in my place. Do comment.